Steve?
Yes, I just started the record session, so let me remind everyone our session's being recorded. And we're going to have a walkthrough tonight of Cognos Analytics that will be very beneficial to you. Yelena Batenskaya will be doing the walkthrough. She's our resident expert, one of our TAs and the expert on the software. So this will be very helpful. And again, it'll be recorded for those who want to watch it again or anyone who's unable to attend live. There will be a chance for questions at the end of her presentation. So sit back and listen and try to absorb as much as you can. Go ahead, Yelena. Thanks.
All right, so it's recording now, right? All right, good evening, everybody. So the purpose of today's session is to help you get started with Cognos Analytics applications that you'll be using for the rest of the coursework. This is today's agenda. I'll show you how to access the environment and what you need to do to get started. I'll show you how to use the interface, and we'll talk about the data exploration, okay? And then I'll show you some useful resources, and of course we have questions and answers. All right? So what is Cognos Analytics? In another word, this is an intuitive self-service, web-based interface where you upload the data and it just gives you the answers, right? It supports visual data exploration, and I'm gonna need a volunteer tonight. Can somebody count how many lines of code I will have written? And I'm gonna get back to it, okay? So what's nice is that you can drag and drop data on the canvas and it just gives you insights, right? And you can build interactive dashboards and stories and so on. Well, you can also do reporting, but we're not gonna cover it in this course, all right? Well, of course, it's not gonna address all problems that you're trying to solve, but this is a good starting point when you need to explore your data. So what do you need to do? You need to do this. This is a web page. This is a URL where you need to go. So just go copy and paste. And this probably is the only time when you'll be able to copy and paste. I'll show you why. So you go to the Google Chrome is a preferred browser, but it should work in other browsers also. So when I do this, when I paste this web page, it's taking me to UMUC single sign-on page. At this step, your password is the same as the password that you use to log into Leo, okay? This is the same password that you use to log into Leo. So this is what's happening. Right now, I'm at the remote workstation. This is a remote desktop, right? It's not my computer, it's somewhere in the cloud. And since you are registered for data 610, right, you will have access. This is little circle, see this? This is a Cognos Analytics application shortcut, right? Now, do you see this word, welcome, and exclamation point? This is important because I use this as a base for the password. I remove the space after E, and then I replaced letter E with number 3, okay? So that's gonna be a Cognos password. I'll show you what I mean. But the password must be 8 characters. It must contain a number, right? So the best way to get a number in would be to replace E with number 3 because on your keyboard, number 3 is above letter E. So let's do that. Let's log in. I'm gonna click here, right? Click on BM Cognos. Now it's saying it's connected. It may take a few minutes. See this? It's starting Google Chrome browser, but it's not my computer. This is a remote machine, okay? So now I'll have to enter my username. In your case, your username is going to be the same as your Leo username, right? All right. Now, what else I could do here is that I could resize this. It will readjust the screen resolution for me. So in your case, it's going to be your Leo username, and the password is this. Remember the word welcome, right? So this is what I did. The first letter is an uppercase. Then I replaced letter E with number 3, right? LCOME, and then put an exclamation point. This is how you log in, right? Everybody's password is the same. Now, here it's asking me if I want to save the password. Never. Click never. Never do this. This is a bad practice, okay? So I'm in here right now, right? I'm on remote machine again. So I cannot do the copy paste the text directly, right? And I'll show you how to do that later if you're interested. But what is this? This piece, this part of the area, right? This is called the canvas. And what I see here is any files that I recently opened. So I recently opened these two files. And if I want to, I can go ahead and I can remove it from recent, right? So basically what you see here is what you accessed recently, right? Last time maybe you used an application, something like that. Here there is another way to access what you used recently. Over here, you have two folders. My content is work that you own. This is your work, right? For example, you'll be working on the first homework assignment. You're gonna save a copy of the file from team content to your content, right? My content. So this is my work, right? And for each file that I have, I can see its properties or I can delete it. Like right now, I'm gonna delete it, this one, because I'll show you how to save a copy from the team content. So here it is, this is a team content. Team content is a folder that is visible for everybody. This is how I set it. So after this session, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're able to access the application. And also you want to make sure that when you click on the team content that you see these folders, okay? If you don't see it, you need to email me because it's a separate setting on your account that it's had to be set, okay? Make sure that you see this 5 folders. Now what you're gonna do is this. You're gonna click on it. This is a folder, data 610, data for assignment. This is where I preloaded all the data sets that you're gonna use. Then I further broke down into the subfolders. See this? There are subfolders, the data for this assignment due this weekend, assignment 2, assignment 3 and 4, you use the same data set for those two, and then assignment 5. So for this week, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna click here, right? And this is a file, insurance.csv. That's a file that you go in to use for the assignment due next Sunday. This is what you'll do. This right now is located in the team content, right? It's visible to all of you, all of your classmates. You're not gonna be able to make changes to anything in that folder. But what you will need to do is you'll need to make a copy of this file to my content. My content, it's yours, right? Team content is what was shared with you. This is what you'll need to do here. You're gonna click on this and notice that the options that you see in the menu depends on your privileges and it depends on which file you click on. When I clicked on a file in the my content, right? In the my content, I see more option. It's because I own that file, right? But here in the team content, you don't own this file, right? So this is what you'll do. You're gonna click here and you're gonna select this. Well, this option, it looks like it's grayed out, but it's actually not. It's partially grayed out because you cannot remove the file from the shared folder, but what you could do is just copy it. So what you'll need to do is this. You're gonna select, this is my content, right? And you're gonna select copy to. You're gonna select copy to copy. But let's suppose that I am somebody who does not follow the instruction and I click on the move to. Let's just pretend I'm not reading the instruction. I'm gonna see this error, okay? And the reason you're gonna get this error, it's because the administrator, which is me, prohibit removing file from team content, okay? So you cannot delete files from team content. Okay, so what you'll need to do is this. You need to click here, and then you need to do this. You do copy or move, then you select your folder, and you do copy to. So whenever you see that ugly message that I showed you, it means that you might be doing something that's prohibited, okay? If you're not sure, just post an error message and the steps to reproduce, and then we'll see, okay? So here at the top, you see this is a path to this file. Right now, currently at the moment, I'm looking at the file located in the team folder, right? But here is my content, right? This is my file. Team content, it was what shared with me. and then I would have to like navigate. This is a bunch of subfolders. This is how you navigate. Inside the my content, I have several options. I can create a subfolder, right? I could click on new, and I can create a subfolder in here so that I could kind of like organize my files. As I keep working on this, I'm gonna have assignment 2, assignment 3, and I can put assignment files in a separate folder. I could filter, right? Suppose that I have a bunch of files in here, so I want to see only the folders, or I want to see only the explorations, etc., right? And I can sort the contents. Well, this is basically somewhat similar to how you would use the regular directory, right? Regular search for the files. Now what we're gonna do is, for the purpose of today's demonstration, I'm using claims and weather sample data, okay? So, well, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna click on this. Oops. So if you click, you need to click, see this right now, filter by is open. To close this, you need to click on this funnel here. It will close the open panel. Now here, this is a claims and weather sample, which I uploaded, okay? Uploading files is very tricky, so I don't want you to do that. I want you to be saving a copy from the team folder, okay? I made it simpler for you. Okay, so here it is. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to create an exploration. So there are several ways to do this. One way to do it is to click on this ellipsis here and then say, create an exploration, right? So what is an exploration? Basically, it's a workspace where I can store a set of visualizations, right? Perhaps I want to answer how I want to see what determines the total claim amount, things like that, right? So this is the data, and here I see the list of variables, which include the customer name, country, the state code, state, the claim amount, right? And then the response from insurance, somebody's education, right? Employment status, income, and etc. Right? So this is a person's information and the policy information. And see this claim reason, and probably more likely my target is total claim amount. A target variable is a variable that I would want to predict. Like, for example, in this case, I would want to predict what's the total claim amount, right? What you see here, well, and in order to see it better, you may have to adjust the zoom. So see this browser right here, this is on a remote workstation. I can adjust the zoom here, right? This is what I do to make this diagram more readable. So what I see here it's giving me the list of potential target variables. So it tells me what I might be interested in exploring. For instance, I might be interested in exploring total claim amount or monthly premium, right? So any of this I might be interested in exploring. But by default, it selected total claim amount. It might be the best choice to explore. So see this is total claim amount here. It's represented as a circle, dark circle. The remaining variables, well, I don't see all of them in here, but some of them, they're represented as lighter circles. And the connecting line shows the relationship strengths, okay? So see this total claim amount and location code has the highest relationship. And if I hover, it gives me the relationship strengths, 67%. So the thickness of the line is proportional to the relationship strength. You see that some variables, they don't have the direct relationships, right? Like there is no direct connection. You would have to go through two, right? Like for example, well, in this case, most of them are related directly, but sometimes perhaps you could have income related to marital status and then marital status to total claim. So you could have direct relationships and indirect, okay? And if the data has multiple fields, you can also filter how many fields you want to see. Now, suppose that you're interested in exploring a variable that's not listed here. You can just enter the field name, you can type it in, right? But more likely, if it's not listed in here, it might not be a good candidate for exploration. What else you can see here? If you click on this grid, this is a data preview. Oh, come on, here it is. So this is data that is being visualized in here, right? So this is how the data looks like, okay? You cannot open the data set explicitly, but originally it was in Microsoft Excel file, so this row here, those are the column headings, and the remaining rows are the data, okay? So I can collapse this. What I could do is I could start my exploration. I can start building those are called cards, right? Every visualization, it's called the card. I'll do that. But before I do that, I need to show you something else here. You can click on this, on this ellipsis, it opens action menu for this variable, right? Like country, and I can look up the properties. In this case, well, it's an identifier. And this is aggregate. So basically, if I want to do something, if I want to do some type of calculation, right, then it will do the count distinct by default. Well, looking at the country might not be a good example, but take a look at it. That shows me if I try to summarize the data, by default, it's going to do count distinct, right? So here, well, what's also nice about this, it represents the geographic locations. So if I wanted to do something advanced, I could do even maps because it recognizes it. It recognizes it. I'm looking at the geographic location. But let's look at the income. That might be more interesting. If I look at the properties, see that this is a measure and the aggregation is total. So basically, if I want to look at the income by area, by default, it's going to be doing a sum, right? By default, it's going to be doing a sum. That's what it is. But these are the available aggregation types: known, average, count, count distinct, and so on, right? So see this is the total claim amount. Let's do this. Let's change this. Because when I'm looking at the claim amount by region, perhaps, I am not interested in the sum of all claims. I'm interested in seeing the average. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this change, right? By default, I want to look at the average claim amount. I'm going to close this. Now, very important, you must save everything, because this is what happens. You're working on it and you get pulled away from your computer. If you're idle for a while, you can get disconnected, okay? I'm not sure exactly what an idle time is, but you can get disconnected. So let's do this. Let's save this. How do you save it? You click on this floppy disk, right? You won't be able to save anything in the team content folder. Do you see this? This save button is grayed out, right? It means administrator did a great job prohibiting what should not happen. You have to select this. This is my content, right? See this right now? The save button is no longer grayed out. And I want to say claims and weather exploration, right? Okay, I'm gonna do save. So this is my exploration workbook, right? Here, notice that this is a switcher menu. Well, it shows you what you currently have open, and you can navigate back and forth. Like I can return to my landing page, and then I can return back to the explorations that I just had. And this, it put this in the recent because that's what I had open recently, right? Claims and weather exploration. Right now, I don't have anything in there, but I'm gonna start adding visualizations. There is more than one approach to do this. Like I can click here. When I click here, it usually gives me this. See this, I clicked on total claim amount, and it's gonna give me, it's gonna propose the visualizations for me, something that I might be interested, right? So let's see, I might be interested in total claim, average total claim amount by employment status, right? Well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add this card. So this will automatically add this visualization to my workspace, right? And then if I wanted to modify it, I could click on this, right? I click on this and take a look at it. This is nice, isn't it nice? So Cognos Analytics application, it found the insights for me. So if I were you, I would read this. And then if I was going to write my paper, I would summarize it in my own words, right? So now here, this is called the data slot. This is the visualization properties. See this required fields. If you see this little asterisk, it means that you have to specify the field or you cannot see visualization, right? So here, in this case, every bar stands for employment status, and the bar length is going to be, it's an average total claim amount in this case, right? It's an average. See this? Well, here, I can click here, and I can change. If I wanted to, I could apply filter, or I could change the way I'm summarizing it, right? Well, in this case, I'm doing the average. See this? I could click here, and I believe I can change it here if I wanted to. Yes, see this? I click here, and then here, see this summarize? I can, if I wanted to, I can change it, right? I can do the maximum. So what this will do is that it will show me, this will show me the maximum claim amount, right? For employment status, right? Or I can do, if I do the count, then it's going to be the number of claims, right? If I do count distinct, it's going to do the count of distinct claim amounts, which is not interested. I probably want to keep an average. So you can change it at visualization level, or you can also change it at the workbook level. So see this, I click on this folder, and these are the fields, right? These are the fields. So what I also could do is I could apply the filters. I could apply the filters to these visualization. So to do this, I would have to pick the field here that I want, and I'm going to drag and drop. So see this, gender. I'm going to drag and drop in here, right? And suppose that I want to pick only male, and I'm gonna click OK. See this? I picked male. Well, this is going to show me the average claim amount, right, per employment status, and I'm only looking at the males. Okay. Now what I could do is this. I'll save it first. So see this? This is the first visualization. Take a look at this. When I click on this grid, this one, it's showing me the data that is being visualized. This is the visualized data, this table right here, right? And this is the entire data. See this, you have two tabs here. This is the visualize. Sometimes if you are writing a paper, sometimes you want to look at this table instead, right? Sometimes you want to look at the table, sometimes you want to look at the visualization. So you have these options here. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna minimize it. Alternatively, you could also temporarily filter at the data level, right? You will have to do it in your homework assignment, which is due this weekend, this upcoming weekend. When you do the summary visualization, unfortunately, dragging and dropping local filters does not work. So you would have to do something like this and filter, and then you can specify what you want to filter by, okay? And you can also filter by more than one field, okay? So this is one way to do the visualization. What you also could do is this, I've got this visualization, I can click on related. And when I click on related, it's telling me what else I might be interested in, right? And then I can click on see more, right? It lets me choose which other visualization I might be interested in based on the visualization I'm currently looking at. Perhaps I want to look at this, right? So I click on it and it adds another card. See this, if I click here on this wheel, I see those are the visualizations that I have added in my workbook, right? And let me go save. This is one way. Now, what we have in here, we have this little friend called assistant. what I could do here is this. I can type show data, and it's gonna show me all the data sets that I have access. This is everything that I have access to. In this case, I'm interested in claims of weather sample. I'm going to click on this. And what this will do is that it's going to give me table columns, right? And it's going to give me the properties of each column. It will show me if this thing here has an outlier. Outlier is very, very small or very, very large value, right? So here, it's basically giving me the properties of each field. Like, for example, income is continuous. Continuous means that the number of values is not predefined, right? It's a continuous number, integer, etc., right? A categorical means that the number of values is predefined. We know the values ahead of time, right? There's a specific set of values, all right? So here, behind the scene, it showed me which command was run. And I can click here to rerun the command again. So see the show source and then the dataset name. It will show you the fields in their properties. Now, what I could do is I can click on the field, right? I'm going to intentionally click on total claim amount. So it's doing this. It's running the command show column total claim amount. It will search through the data sets that I have access to and will try to find that column. So in my case, this column exists in the claim and weather sample data, and it's showing me the usage, right? The aggregation. Well, it's going to show me the data type, and then here, those are the additional properties. Now, here, it's showing me the fields that might be related to this, right? Those are fields that I may have relationship with. Like, for example, monthly premium, right? Which makes sense, income, location code, and etc. And here, see this? You can look at what influences total claim amount. When I click on this, see this? Those are the fields that are in interest, that influence, right? Now I can click on each individual field, and it's supposed to give me the visualization. So see this? This is total claim amount by employment type, and I can scroll through this, right? There are different visualizations, and if I like something in there, I could add this. I could add this to my visualization list. Well, to do this, you probably want to do this new, and I'm gonna click on a single visualization card, and I'm gonna take this, and I'm going to drag and drop. Oops, sorry, I have to adjust the zoom. But what you do is you're gonna drag and drop this visualization into here, right? You have to take this visualization and you just drag and drop. Should do it here. See this? It means that I added this into my workbook, right? This is a data exploration workbook. See this? And this is, I think this is average. It should be doing average because I changed it before. And see here, data slots. If I wanted to, I could edit this, and I could add, like, say, for example, every row, well, it's employment status. And I could say, I could add coverage, right, into columns. So see this? It's gonna give me more. It broke it down by coverage. See this? Okay. So see this is what it did. Employed, basic, extended, premium, and then this is an overall summary. This is a nice summary table. And here I can click, and this showing me the data that is being visualized, okay? This is showing me the data that's being actually visualized. Or I can see the entire data, okay? So now let's minimize this. So this is the assistant. This guy can be accessed from here, or you can also access from here. Is this? You can access it from here, the history of commands. One thing that I discourage people to do not use your browser back button, okay? Well, you may lose your work, and you may also lose the commands history. See this commands history in this assistant. But if I want to clear the commands history, I would click on the reset. That clears this comments history, okay? So this is one way to get a visualization. Another way to get a visualization is this. I'm gonna go back, right? So this, I'm returning back to this, right? Explore relationship in the data. Oops, let me see. I could just, I think I could just click on it, double click on it. If I double click on it, it could create a visualization. I'm trying to see. Oh, when I double click on it, it's adding the visualizations that I might be interested in here. See this? And I can just click on this plus sign, right, and edit. Another way to do that is this. Look, I'm gonna click on new. I'm gonna select the single card right now. I'm going to go to my variables, and I can do this. I can just go and drag and drop this field in here. And this is gonna try to determine what it wants. Well, is this what I want? No, it just added everybody's income, okay? Well, this is not what I want. Well, you can delete it or you can edit it, but to delete the card, you just click here. You select this card here, right? I selected it and I can click delete here. Or I can also do this. I can select here and I click on delete. Now, one thing I want you to remember that, and on the slide, I have this little recycle bin X'd out. So there is no recycle bin. Once you delete something, and once you close the workbook, it's gone. I might still be able to undo it, but before I click the save button, I might still be able to undo it. Okay, undo, redo, right? Okay, save. But once I close this file, I cannot undo the deletion. Another thing that you may have noticed that the visualization color, see this is blue, you cannot change it here. Right now, you cannot change it, but you will be able to change it in when we start building dashboards, which is what our next session is going to be about, right? But for right now, you just keep it as is. You cannot change the colors at the moment, okay? Now, what else I'm going to do is this. Look, here was my, I created this one, right? And I have this visualization filtered by gender. And in this case, I'm looking at the males. Look, this is what I want to do right now. I'm going to create a copy of this. See this? I'm going to say duplicate. And it's going to add another card like this, the same, right? So this is a total claim amount, right? First copy. And the gender is male. This is my second copy. And I'm going to go back to my filters. And I'm going to change gender to female, right? Uncheck male. This is what I could do. This is called comparison card. Watch what I'm gonna do now. I selected this card and I'm gonna select this, right? I'll have to click the control to select these two. See this? I selected these two cards. Two are selected. Now I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna select compare. See this? I clicked over here, right? And I'm gonna select compare. What this will do is it will add another card for me. And this is, it's comparing the total claim amount, right, by marital status for each gender, for male and female. And this is synchronized. Notice that as I select something here, it's going to select the corresponding point here. See this? I can sort of like concurrently look at these two. And it also, it did it side by side, like a minimum, see this, and it's broken down by gender, right? Chart A, if I select it here, see this chart A, this is the gender female. Chart B is a gender male, right? So if I make a selection, see this? I drag my line, it's doing it in both visualization. So here, this basically enables doing a side-by-side comparison, right? So that's what it is. I'm going to do save, but before I do this, see this? You can hide and show the comparison line, right? This is a comparison line, or you can hide and show the comparison statistics, right? But this is, if I hide the statistics, you can see this, right? This is a comparison line, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save. So right now we're going to look at the advanced visualizations. So let's do this. Let's do new, and I'm going to do single, and right now I'm going to do choose type. See this, there are different groups of visualizations. In your homework assignment, well, you have to do one from this group and you have a choice. Then you have to do the summarization, right? Basically here you have to do this one that shows the average age in your case. But now we're going to look at the advanced analytics, right? And this is what your third homework assignment is going to be. I'm going to look at the spiral model. And in this case, our target is total claim amount, right? Remember when we looked at the network diagram, it selected total claim by default. So this is what you'll do. And actually, you have something similar in the assignment that's due next weekend. You were asked to build the spiral model. Take a look what I did. I drag and drop total claim into the slot, right? And if it's an asterisk, it means that I have to specify something here. Now, if I click on the details, well, right now it does not give me insights, but sometimes you can have a good insights in here. In this case, I did not get that. Okay, so here, this is how I read it. This is a bullseye, right, diagram. Every pin represents a sort of like a combination of driver. Driver is a factor. In this case, what determines the total claim amount, right? Sometimes it could be a single field, it could be two fields, or it could be a combination of fields. The closer the pin to the center, the stronger is the predictor. So in this case, it's a combination of vehicle class and employment status, right? See this combination of fields that drive this total claim amount. But what I wanted to, I can uncheck, and I can uncheck this just to see a single driver. So see this vehicle class monthly premium, right? So this is what happens when I look at in isolation. Here, well, this is, I can also look at the combination of two fields. And here, this is a combination of three or more, right? So here, in this case, it's a combination of three fields that determine this. Now what I can do, I can save this, right? I saved it. And let's see what happens if I click on it. Nothing, right? You cannot just click on it. But I'll show you what you can do is you can do driver analysis, or you can also do the decision tree model, right? So now for this one, remember another thing. Sometimes once in a while, when you add this visualization, depending on the zoom setting, you might not be able to see the drivers list. If this is the case, you're going to click here. You're going to click here to close this panel. So that improves the readability for this one. See this? This can be opened and closed, right? The details and the data slot, this panel can be opened and closed. And this panel can be opened and closed. So to take screenshots, you may have to do some little bit of adjustment, okay? So see this? And what else you could do is, you can also change drivers. See this right now? I want to show all drivers, or I can show top 5 or top 10, right? By default, it's all. And you can also change drivers. Like for example, I've got the total claim amount, right? And I also have charges, right? Sometimes there is a field that I don't want to be used as part of the prediction. So here, edit drivers, do you see this? Well, this is going to be important in one of your homework assignments where you ask to build 2 models. This is what it means here. I can click on this. See this? I clicked on my target. See this one? Edit drivers. I click here. And here I can check and uncheck what I want and what I don't want to be used as part of my prediction, right? For example, I don't want the claim amount to be used, right? So now I have 21 drivers selected instead of 22, and I'm going to click OK, and this will refresh my visualization, okay? Well, sometimes it's helpful. In this case, it did not matter, but this is what you can do. You can control which field or which combinations of field are used as a driver. And again, what did I do? I click on this. See this? You have to click on this, and then you get two options, right? When you click on this, oops, sometimes it's a little bit, you know, you have to be a little patient. But when I click on this, I saw two options, right? And then I selected the option to switch the drivers. Okay? Oops, sometimes you have to be a little bit, see this? You have to click on this. Here you can edit drivers, and in here you can control which drivers, how many drivers are displayed. Sometimes the list is super long. You want to see the top 5, top 10, and so on, right? Now let's go ahead and save this. I'm gonna show you the decision tree model. So what we can do here, I'm gonna do the new card, and I'm gonna do the single card, and I'm gonna do again choose type, and I'm going to select my decision tree. Here it is, decision tree, and again I'm going to go to that total claim amount, and I'm gonna drag and drop. Well, I have to open up the properties, right? And I'm gonna do this total claim amount, and I'm gonna drag and drop into the target. So tree diagram, right? Well, let me do this. I have to close this, and I'm gonna close this to improve the readability. Now here you have to little bit, it's a matter of little bit playing around, okay? To see the diagram. You may have to play with the browser zoom here. All right, so I'm gonna minimize the zoom. Then there used to be a button here, notes. In this case, I selected all, but I can also do the top 5 or bottom 5, or I can also do this. Look, I click on the node to collapse. I can click on the node, and that will collapse the children node. It will collapse the children node, right? Clicking on this node, it will collapse this. Sometimes I want to collapse just to look at the first couple levels, right, of splitting. So let's collapse this. Well, in your homework assignment, you probably would want to take a screenshot of the portion of the tree, unless you want to have a little jigsaw puzzle taken pieces and put together. Okay, so how do you read this thing? Here, this piece represents the entire data set. See this? This is the average total claim amount for the whole data set, and this is the number of rows in the data. See this? 9,134. Now what we are doing? We are looking at the vehicle class, right? And if the vehicle class is, this is 2 doors in this case, right? It's taking this path. If it's SUV, etc., right, it's taking this path. Vehicle class SUV and a sports car, it's taking this path. And here we have 2,280 records that fall into this branch here, right? And this is the average total claim amount here. The darker the color code here, and the higher is the average claim amount. And we continue now. We continue splitting because Jesus, if you have more than 25 rows, more than 25 observations that fall into this, you continue. Next splitting field is the employment type, right? So let's see. Let me see if I can collapse this. So here, well, see this is a vehicle class, and I was looking at this, right? Now I can look, my next one is an employment. So if my employment status is medical leave, disabled, or retrieved, this is an average claim amount. And here I have the number of records, right, that fall into this category and percentage. And then I can click on this. I believe it could have the child notes. So I have to click on this to expand, right? And I can continue until I reach the leaf node, right? Until I reach the leaf node. And the leaf node is going to be an average, right? It's an average. So, well, it might be a little bit difficult to navigate, right? Sometimes it might be a little difficult. You have another alternative. This is rules, right? So here, it kind of tells me the characteristics, right, of the claims. This is a vehicle class, employment status, and this is a policy effective date. it's showing me how many records fall under this scenario. And this is an average total claim amount, okay? Average total claim amount for the 78 records, right? So if I had a new claim, basically if I had a new claim and given all of this information, such as vehicle class, employment status, etc., I should be able to use my tree to predict the average claim amount. I would just traverse the tree starting from the root node, and I'll keep myself asking questions. What is the vehicle class? And taking the branch accordingly until I reach all the way to the leaf node, right? The leaf node is, well, it's also called the terminal node, right? Well, it takes a little bit of time to update, but, well, okay. So leaf node is a terminal node. It's at the end, right? Here, basically the rules, and you can sort it by a predicted value. Well, in this case, I'm going to do this, right? So here, the average total claim, this is an average total claim, and this is the number of records that it affects, right? It applies to. And here are the characteristics of the claim, right? Well, so to speak, right? So knowing vehicle class, knowing employee status, knowing monthly premium, etc., I can predict the average claim. That's what it's basically giving me, okay? Well, and here are the rules, and I can also look at the 3 sandbars, right? So that's basically like a drill down. This is total claim all, and I can click on this slide, and I can look at the status equals employed, right? So I'm fixing the status to employed, and that's gonna give me average claim amount for the employed. Then I can drill down further, right? So here it's gonna eliminate in the car model, SUV and a sports car, right? And it's telling me the average claim amount. So see, this is basically allows me to drill down. And I've got the tree diagram here, right? What else you have? Well, it's a lot of visualizations. You can choose the driver analysis also, right? Let's save this. I'm gonna go to new, single. Well, I'm gonna do choose type, and this is a driver analysis. It's one of the, well, they call this category as advanced, but, well, you have to do this driver analysis too. And then I'm gonna do this total claim amount. Okay, I'm gonna do, oh, wait, what I forgot. Oh, take a look at this. I drag and drop the fields and it figured out that I want to look at the total claim amount. But it gave me the decision rules. For some unknown reason, it gave me the decision rules. Well, because I just did drag and drop. Well, suppose that that's not what I want. I can click here and I can choose different visualization type. I can choose the driver analysis if I want to. See this? This is a driver analysis. And here, this is a selected combination of drivers. In this case, it's giving me the decision tree. Well, the reason it's giving me the decision tree here is that if the predictive strength of the combination of drivers is higher than predictive strength of any individual variable, I see the decision tree in here. So see this is a driver analysis. I can click here and I can see the visualization for specific driver, right? So I'm looking at the total claim amount, right? This is a target, and I'm looking at the income, vehicle class, right? How they determine total claim amount, right? This is broken down. So basically you can see it, you can look at it as a spiral diagram that we looked at, but it's sliced sort of like, right? So here, this is a visualization for an individual driver. Total claim amount by employee status. Remember, employee status was one of the pins on a spiral diagram, right? If I go back, here, this is a spiral diagram. Here, see this? I wanted to see the visualizations for each of, I can see visualizations for each of this driver. Like see this income, right? I cannot click on it here. I have to go to the driver analysis explicitly. See this? This is a driver analysis. So you can look at it as a spiral diagram sliced. See this? So here, the strength is the 55%, it's a combination, right? I get the decision tree because the predictive strength of the combination is higher than the predictive strength of each individual driver. That's the only time you're gonna get decision tree in here, right? This is the visualization. Now I'm going to click here. So this is 2, right? I can look at total claim amount by vehicle class and look at this. Look at this. I can click on this plus sign and it's gonna add this visualization card here. See, this adds a card to my visualizations, okay? What you will like later on is that you can take each card and you can pin it. So pin is basically something like a bookmark, and it allows you to reuse these visualizations in a display, right? I'm going to show you more in the next class, but what I'm trying to say here, there's a lot of sort of like, so to speak, reuse, okay? There's a lot of reuse here. See, I like this. I can click on it and it's gonna add this to my set of visualizations. See, this is a set of visualizations that is currently in this workspace, okay? Now, I forgot to mention something very important. You have a homework assignment due this upcoming weekend. You must turn in this homework in order to unlock assignment 2. This was done intentionally because even though assignment 2 was higher portion of the course grade than this assignment due this weekend, you must complete this assignment first, because if you don't do this assignment first, you're not gonna know how to access your account, how you're gonna do your assignment 2. You cannot, right? So this assignment is due this weekend, you must do it first. And I'm gonna remind you throughout this presentation. After this session, you want to make sure that you're able to access your account, okay? And see the files, see the shared files that I showed you. Anyhow, so see this, you're gonna play with this, right? For your homework assignment, for this time, you're asked to look at the spiral diagram, right? You're asked to look at the summary visualization and then the visualization of your choice. As the last question, you may choose, right? So you're gonna click on the new, you're gonna click on the single card, and then you're gonna go choose type, and it's anything in this group, and you're gonna explain it. Right, so this is anything. Now, what else I can show you is that you can add the navigation path. Well, this is very interesting feature. So let's do this. Let's go back to my data. So this is my data. I can add the navigation path that allows me to drill down. Basically, see this, I have a state, right? And I can have the area inside the state, right? I can have the area inside the state, which is, or it's region, I think. I think it's region, right? So let's do this. Let's create the new visualization, and I'm gonna call it location. I mean, new path, sorry. Let me click on this. This is like a hierarchy. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do location, hierarchy, right? So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to add this. I want to see this. Well, this is my state, right? And also I can choose the location code. This is what I want to do. I want to click on state. And now here, I want to pick location code, right? So I'll show you what's gonna happen now. So this is the location hierarchy, right? I'm adding a way to drill down through my data. Oops, did I save it? No, I did not. I should have saved it. So let me show you how to do that again then. I call it location hierarchy. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna click here. I'm going to click on the state, right? And then I'm going to click on the location code, right? So right now, oh, I have to zoom in. I mean, zoom out rather, right? Because there should be a button here. Okay. If I don't click on the K button, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna lose it. So see, this is the hierarchy that I just created, right? Let me go back. Okay, so, and it's going to be very helpful because I'm going to be looking at the total claim amount now, and I want to be able to drill down, right? So let me see. Nope, I cannot drag and drop this, but what I can do is this. I can look at the total claim amount, right? I can have this total claim amount. I'll drag and drop, right? This is my total claim amount. It's going to do the average, but this is not what I'm interested in. I want to take, I cannot drag and drop here either, so I have to pick another visualization. Perhaps I can pick, well, let's do bar plot, right? This is a bar plot now. Come on. I did not pick it. Pick it. Oops, it won't let me. It's still in the summary. Okay. I want to pick this visualization type and did not let me. Okay. Well, okay, never mind. Let's do new, single card, and choose type. Let's do this time. And I'm gonna pick a bar plot. See this? I'm picking a bar plot, and I'm going to visualize my total claim amount, right? So I'm gonna drag and drop it here. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna click here. Well, this is a property, right? And for each bar, I'm gonna take this location hierarchy, right? So right now, each bar, I'm gonna have a separate bar per state. Sometimes you have to be really patient with this. Sometimes you have to be it's a little bit, okay, let's do this. Let's try to take state here and drag it here. Maybe it will listen. Yes, so that listened to me now. I took the state and I dragged and dropped the state here. Now, secretly, what this is doing is that it's showing me average claim amount per state. What I could do is this. I click here. Oops. I can click here. This is a state I'm interested in. And within this state, I can click on drill down. I can click on drill down. So now I'm seeing average claim amount by location code within the state that I just selected. This is what I mean, hierarchy. I can look at location code within the state, right? And I can have more than one level, right? I pick the state. Suppose that I had multiple countries. I could have country, state, then location code, right? And within location code, I can have something else, like a zip code. Just an example. What else I could do is I could also go back, right? Like now, I'm looking, see this, if I click on the widget, right now, I'm looking at the Iowa state. I can unfilter it. So I'm gonna look back. If I unfilter it, well, I'm supposed to return to original visualization, okay? I was supposed to return, or what I could do is you can do this. You can see this. You can click here, see this, and here this is an option to go up and down the hierarchy. So I can go up, right? Oh, take a look at this. Here I can limit. I can choose how many I want to see. For instance, I can see the top count, right? I can see the bars with the highest amount. I can see the bottom percentage or top percentage, right? This is what it's doing. But I can also, I can also do this. See this? This is to go back. This is to go back up the hierarchy. See, I can navigate it. This is a drill down functionality. Let me save this. So see this? I show you the drill down. What you could also do is you could add the calculated field, right? Well, next session, I'll show you more details because what you'll be working in assignment 5, you'll have options to work with the data sets with missing values, right? So I'll show you more, but, well, in general, this is what you could do. You could create calculated field. Well, see this new calculation. Well, this is a calculation editor, and I can add new columns. For example, my column name is going to be perhaps reduced premium, right? Right? And I can do this. The expression could be this. I can take my monthly premium, right? Something like that. I can take any field, such as monthly premium, and if I don't see it, I can do the search, right? I can type monthly, and it's supposed to find my field for me. See, this is monthly claim amount, and I'm gonna do -100, right? I can type in -100. And this is going to be my reduced premium field, right? I'm creating a new column. This adds a new column, but I have to save it, right? So minimize this and click on save. What else you could do is, I'll show you. Okay, so this one, it adds a calculated field, and the calculated field can be used as part of another calculation, or it can be used as part of visualizations also. What else you could do is this. You could use the formula. See this? I click here, and if I click on f of x, there is a variety of operators. See this? This is the operators, and in the next class, I'll show you how to use the if operator. This is advanced. I will show you how to check if the value is missing, something like that. So see this? You can use a lot of these operators here. Or you can also do the statistical functions. They're statistical, such as summaries. And see this, you can do the aggregation. You can find the averages. You can find the running maximum, and so on, right? You can do functions on the strings, right? You can do functions on the dates. This is something to explore, something to read the recommendation about, read the documentation about, right? So for example, see this, if I click on this, well, it's going to show me the information, what it does, right? This one is for the dates. Then there are also some functions for the strings, right? For the intervals and so on, right? Next session, I'll show you more advanced, but the purpose of this session is to make sure that you get started, right? Well, we want to make sure that you get started with this. So let me go back to slides. This is what I usually do. I usually present, and then I go back and see, oh, I have to show you this piece here. So let's go back to the browser. So this, where I'm here right now, this is a remote PC. I cannot copy and paste the text directly. But if I really have to copy and paste here, I have several options. See this is secretly, I'm in a browser. I can log in here, I can add another tab on the remote station, and I can log into the Leo, right? I can log into Leo if I want to. Right, learn the domuc.edu, I believe, right? So you can access Leo. See this? You can log into your Leo account from here. So if you have to copy paste, you can log into Leo, download file, right, to this workstation, and copy paste. But something to keep in mind, that anything you save in here, it's not going to be available on your PC. It will be saved on this remote workstation. So if I have a file, if I save a file directly here, right, it will be saved on this computer, on a remote computer. It's not going to be saved on my computer, right? So here, right here, this is my computer, right? Over here, what I'm touching now in the browser, what I see in the browser, that's a remote computer. This is not my computer. So I cannot go in and kind of like copy and paste text, like, see this, I cannot do this, like Control C, right? I did Control C. Now I want to do this. It's just a dummy example. And I want to do this, and I want to do calculation, and I want to paste the text. I cannot do it. I cannot. Well, this is how you copy paste from your PC to here. Look, you click here, and you see this bunch of options, right? This is a slide out menu. This is a clipboard. To copy and paste from the PC, you're going to open this clipboard. You're going to paste it here. So this, copied to the clipboard, right? I copied this to the clipboard. Then I return here and I paste. See this? You cannot copy paste from your PC directly. You have to use this clipboard. That's one way to do it. Another way is to open files explicitly explicitly on that PC, okay? That's another way. You have to open files explicitly on that PC. But again, there is no, well, when I click on this, when I try to use Windows Explorer, I'm opening files on my computer. To open files on this PC, that's tricky. That's tricky, you know, that's the reason why I uploaded the data for you, because it's very difficult. When you try to upload the file directly, it's not looking at your computer, you cannot do it, okay? But if you end up saving something on a remote workstation by accident, if you end up saving something on a remote station by accident, well, this is what you can do. Here you can download. If you click on download, here you're downloading the files from your remote PC. These files you're looking at, they're not on my computer. These files are on my account on this remote PC that I'm just accessing. See this? Or if I want to upload the file to that PC, I would have to click upload. Then I select what I want to upload, and it will go on that PC. See, the remote PC that I'm just accessing now. Also, what you have is, well, some of you may have noticed that, well, you have to adjust the zoom, etc., etc. Take a look. You can do it the full screen, and it will adjust the resolution, right? You can put it in a full screen mode. Right, so I'm in the full screen right now. Or to exit the full screen, you can use the exit key on your keyboard. Exit key on the keyboard, exit the full screen. But in your homework assignment, to get a good screenshot of the diagram, you probably want to click on this and do well, you can do this. This one is the full screen window, okay? So just remember that. Also remember that if you're idle for some time, this will kick you out. When you return, this tab will be closed. I don't know for how long, is some time, but you want to make sure that you save all your work, okay? You want to make sure that you save all your work. Okay? Well, this is copying files is very complicated. I showed you, but I showed you as a bonus, so to speak. What else you have? Oops. So see, this is, you have to look at it here. This is the UMUC workstation, right? So here you have applications, right? Those are the application at the UMUC remote workstation. See this? Now you have this open in the Chrome browser. You can open the Excel. See this? You can open Excel, but Excel that I'm opening right now, well, it's not on my PC. Well, that file, that Excel thing that I opened, it's on this desktop. Not sure what happened. Okay, but if I open up the file, it's gonna open on my, it's not gonna open it on my PC. It's gonna open it on a, it's gonna open the application on my desktop, right? This is a desktop. See this? I've got two tabs in here. This is Excel, right? I can start the new file, right? To see this, I just opened up the brand new file, right? And this is my application, right? So see this right now, I'm on a remote workstation. If I do file save as, see what happens? If I go file save as, browse, I cannot save anything from here to my computer. I cannot, because right now I'm on a remote PC. This is, I'm on remote workstation. I cannot save it to my computer. I cannot open from my computer. I would have to save it on my remote computer and then go here and download, upload. Well, I know, guys, that first time you see this, it's complicated, but you're gonna do it more in the later coursework, right? But if you have to do copy paste, just remember that you have this clipboard here, right? You have this clipboard. You also may log into Leo from that workstation, right? So I realize it might be complicated, but this is the outer browser. This is my browser. The inner browser is a browser open on a remote PC. Well, look, it's a desktop, right? Because if I go back here, this is a UMUC lab. I can look at the desktops, right? Data desktops. This is your data analytics, data 610 desktop, right? That's where this guy is installed, right? That's what you're accessing here. You're accessing Cognos Analytics application that is installed on the data 610 desktop, right? And that desktop has other applications. So if you really have to copy and paste something, if it's an Excel file perhaps, if you have to open the file on the remote workstation, or you can use this here, this utility, okay? But, well, use it only if you have to, okay? Use it only if you have to. Well, so now you see why I uploaded the files for you, because if you went ahead and did this, right? If you went ahead and did this, you cannot. You cannot see this, you cannot see your PC here. You cannot upload the files here from your PC. So this is the reason why I did this. This is the reason why I did this team content. And this is all of the data for assignments, okay? Now, speaking of team content, you see this folder called samples. This is a folder called samples. And in the samples, you have sample data. This data is used in the videos, okay? This data is used in the videos. And on one of the slides, I put together some links on the videos on the data exploration. They use this telco customer churn data. So basically in the slides, I put some links here, right? So there are some links that I put, this one. This is data exploration. There are 4 videos here. And, well, if you want to follow along what the presenters are doing, they are using that data over here. See this? This is a sample data. So the sample data are the data sets that are used in videos, in the tutorials. Okay, so that's what those are. And they are discussing some simple, some sample explorations, sample dashboards, etc. So sometimes you're working on your assignment, you want to look at the samples, right? You're not going to turn it in for your assignment, but sometimes it's helpful to take a look at the samples, just to give you ideas on what you could do, right? So remember, team content is what you have access to. My content, this is your files, right? This is a common file, sort of like shared files. You have a read-only access to it. You cannot delete, you cannot override it, right? And an attempt to remove it is going to give you an error, right? So just remember that. But you have to save a copy to your folder, right? To your content and work from it. And what I did here, well, this is, I put this step here. See this is a password. Everybody says the same. Remember when we logged in, it said welcome on the screen. So I took that word, I removed the space after letter E, then I replaced the E with number 3. Letter E, number 3 on the keyboard is right above letter E. So that might be the easiest way to do it, because it has to have one number, okay? 8 characters, one number, one special character, and at least one uppercase character. That's the password rules, right? I put this for you. Do not use the browser back button. Always save your work. And then, well, this is my joke. I say there is no recycle bin. Well, when you delete it, it's gone. I put a nice summary for you of this toolbar, what you can do, right? So this is more like if you're interested. But I would discourage uploading files. Okay, but this is if you really have to do it. If you accidentally saved something on remote PC and you need a copy on your local PC, this is buttons that allow you to do that. Okay. Okay, and well, I summarized how the interface looks like, and also you've got the links. Well, this is links to the getting started videos. I hope the links work, but yes, it takes you to YouTube. Let me close this out. Okay, well, here is the samples and so on, right? Remember recent, it's what I had recently opened. This recent files here, also here, right? This is called the canvas. The content here, the options I see, changes based on what I have opened right now. A switcher menu, right? Everything I can open, I can navigate here. I don't need to use the browser back button. Here, this is going to be my information, right? And so on. Well, here is my preferences, right? My personal preferences. When I click on advanced, Well, here, this is my capability. It shows me what I can do, right? In your case, don't worry about it. But in my case, I had to worry about it when I set up your role, right? But this is, well, this is the details about you. So whenever you say that you cannot see this, but your friend can see it, this is one way to compare. This is one way to compare the permissions. But I would rather you email me, okay? What you're gonna do is this. This is the first step in your homework. You're gonna try to log in, and then if this one, if if team content is empty, you need to let me know, because there is something that I need to add to your account. I remember adding it to everyone, but once in a while Yelena makes a mistake. So when Yelena makes a mistake, she needs to know. Okay? So everybody should see this. It should be the same view. Okay? You should see this. You might not see anything in the recent section when you just started, okay? So this is important, very important. I'm not sure how many times to repeat this. So here, this is basically showing you what you need to see. And for the explorations, there are two ways to do it. Another way to start an exploration would be this. You click on a new and you click exploration, right? You can start here. Be aware that when you watch your videos, you're gonna see more options here. You're gonna see reports, etc. The reason is that there are more functionalities, and I did not turn on, when I did configuration, I did not turn on the functionalities that we're not gonna use. So when you watch the video, you might see more functionalities that you're not gonna see here, especially in this new menu. So I'm going to click on a new now. I click on the exploration, right? This is one way to do the exploration. This is empty right now. I do not see the network diagrams that I saw before. The reason is I didn't specify the data. So I can do this. I can select the data. And, well, see this? This is a problem. I cannot do anything in the team content, right? Well, I have to go back to my content, and I have to select my data, and then I'm gonna click add. This adds data to this exploration, right? This is another way. Well, see this? One way to do that was from the actions menu. This is called the actions menu. Actions menu of the exploration, or actions menu of the data set. See this? Well, this is the data. Here, this is the action menu, right? And the action menu depends on what you're looking at, if it's an exploration or if it's a data set, and also where it's located, right? Well, for example, well, take a look at this. Here, this is your content. You see a delete option, right? But if you go back to the team content, if you go back here, you're not gonna see the option to delete. You're not gonna see, and the reason is security, right? I did it. I took care of it. So see, this is the assignment data. You're not going to see the option to delete. Well, because this data is this is shared, right? So you don't have a permission to see this, okay? You could see the properties if you want, and the property is going to say that I created that file. And, well, see this? This is grayed out. You cannot see much. You cannot even see permissions, because this is how I set it up, right? I own it, so you cannot see it. Whatever is in your content, you own it, but this folder, I put it here. I put it in a shared, and I'm sharing it with you, okay? And I will show you how to share when you get to the next session, because you will have a group project, and you will have a shared folder where you have with the write access, but that folder will be designated to your group. So we'll get there. But for right now, you can only write in your own content area. Well, there are many reasons. It's because we have many users, right? We don't want everybody to see what you're doing, right? It's not a group work, right? It's not a class work. It's an individual assignment. Okay, so let's see. So here I just spelled it out for you. I spelled out the parts of the exploration workbook, exploration interface, so that way you have it in writing, right? You have it written and you have it verbal. So now remember this. This is not a data model. This is a relationship model. This is different. It shows the relationships, and it's based on some statistical evaluation. So remember that. This is important. Some people think it's a data model, and it's not. So, and I also spelled out how to use assistant for you, right? The assistant tool that we used. This is an example of the navigation path that we did, right? We looked at the state and we look at the location code. And here I'm using a different visualization, right? This is different visualization, but well, you got the idea that you can drill up and drill down, okay? And this is a summary of the calculation. It's an expression, and you add another column. Like for example, let me give you an example. You can have like a first name and last name, right? And you could have a concatenation, or you could look at the, sometimes you can take the months, right? You want to look at the average claim amount per month, perhaps, right? So you want to extract the month part of the date. That's another reason you would use the calculated column, right? Here, well, here I just spelled out the driver analysis. That's what I do. Here I just spelled it out for you, right? Here I showed you how to check, uncheck which fields you want to use as a driver, and you can do the same for the decision tree. You can do the same for the decision tree. Let's look here. I'm gonna go back. Where is my decision tree card? Yeah, I want to make sure because, well, because you'll be doing this. So see this, you can click here. Well, okay, there's more than one way to do it. I can click here and I can click edit drivers. And that will give me an option to uncheck, to check, uncheck, okay? I can check, uncheck fields that I want to use and I don't want to use as a driver. Well, you have to do it in the next assignment. So, you know, take notes on this. You can do it this way, right? And also I was doing it here was this spiral diagram, right? I did it by clicking here. Also, I can do this, right? I can do this. I can do edit drivers. I can do this here. Because remember before I had a little bit of hard time when I clicked on the total claim amount, right? I had a little hard time. So, well, if this is the case, you can also click on here. See, this is a total claim amount. You click on this to edit drivers, and you can modify which fields are you using for your driver analysis, right? Well, you'll have to do it. So you will have to do it in next assignment, assignment 3. Yeah. So basically, you probably want to watch this video more than once. Trust me. You want to watch this video more than once and read through the slides. Okay? We looked at the decision trees. We looked at the decision rules. We looked at the sandbars visualization, right? Here, this is a comparison card, right? This is very nice way to compare. Perhaps I could see if the gender has an impact, perhaps, right? So I can do side by side and compare male, female, right? And here, well, this screenshot shows you how to save. You have to select my content, right? Whenever you're saving, you can only save to your content area. You're prohibited from saving into the team area, okay? So Cognos Analytics has excellent permission setting capabilities. So I was able to control where you can save, where you cannot save. So these are the videos that I mentioned about. But when you watch the videos, keep in mind that some menus may have slightly different options, okay? It's because I did not enable some options such as reporting because we're not using them in this class, so they're not enabled. Notebooks are not enabled because we're not using the Python notebooks, right? So just to keep it simpler, right? And these are some use cases and customer stories. There are more in the classroom, there should be more. Then there is a documentation and the Cognos Analytics community. Sometimes you may be interested to read some articles in there, right? People post how to do something. So let me see if there are any, I see something in the chat. Oops, what's going on? More chat. There are some questions, right? So let me see. Okay, everyone is on mute, okay. what was the URL to log on? Oh yes, thank you. Yes, thank you for answering that question. The URL is vdi.umuc.edu, and it's also spelled out in the instructions, okay? And speaking of instructions, I want to say thank you to some of you who helped us last Friday to do the system load testing. We wanted to make sure that an application can handle multiple users logging in at the same time. And we were playing one of the sample storybooks. And in the next class, I'll show you how to create the storybooks. But I want to say thank you to you who, if you volunteered last Friday to help us with testing. Okay? So, questions. If there are no questions, then I'm going to ask you a question. First of all, anybody, how many lines of code did I write tonight? Any R code, any Java, any Python, any C++? Did I write any code? Anybody, please, people, don't be shy. I like people who participate. Okay, 1. Well, the only 0, right. The only lines that I wrote was I was trying to write the formula to do calculations. That's correct. But other than that, no code. Excellent. So this might be the only time, almost the only time in the program when you do analysis without writing the code. In the next class, guess what? You'll be doing a Python, right? So enjoy. Okay, enjoy. Well, on the other hand, it's a closed source application. You cannot see the implementation, right? So, and you don't have other models such as neural network, and you don't have that. You are limited to what is there. You cannot customize it, right? It's a closed source. So everybody knows what you're gonna do after this session, right? Well, what are you gonna do? Well, you're gonna review this as many times as you need to. You're going to test your access to the application, right? You want to make sure that you see all the shared folders. You have to complete the homework assignment due this week. Otherwise, assignment 2 will be unavailable. And the reason is we want to resist the temptation to jump on assignment that has a higher value in the grade, because suppose that it's there, right? You start working on it, but you don't know what to do. Huh? Where do I log in? Where is the data? Things like that. So we don't want you to, have this frustration. So first, think first. First, you do this little homework assignment, right? To verify, you verify if you're able to log in, right? Answer all those questions, and you use that data in a share in team folder, right? Okay, team folder. This is team content, right? This is a data 610 data for assignment, and this is a data for this assignment, right? So if nobody is asking questions, then that's going to be my next question. I'm going to ask you a question. And my question is, think about it. What you're going to do to access the data for assignment 2. Just assume you're done with this assignment, right? You turned in the assignment, and assignment 2 is unlocked for you. So let's think about it. Where is your data for assignment 2? What you're going to do? Think about it, think about it. No, look. Where I am right now, team content, right? I'm going to click here. Yeah. Do we have anybody who answers it? Yes, it's in the team content. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I'm so glad when people participate and pay attention. Yes, it's in the team content. Outstanding. And I'm going to click on this, all right, and see that there is a folder called assignment 2. And it's here, house price data. This is the data that you're going to use for assignment 2, right? Then assignment 3, you have several choices, right? Assignment 3 and 4, you pick the same data set and use it for both assignments, okay? And then 5. All right, so you know where to find your data. And also in a classroom, you'll see the links to the data set description. That's because sometimes you want to read what variables are in the data and etc., right? Sometimes when you read description, it gives you a little bit an idea. How about some background and etc., right? All right. Some of the data sets are from Kaggle, some of them are different sources. For each one, I put source in a course content, okay? So other assignments 3 and 4 go along to be, oh, okay. For assignment 3, this is what happens. Assignment 3, the visibility is controlled by the date. So it will be visible whenever the start time is set to. So I'm assuming it's 2 weeks from now, and 4 also. I believe there is no release condition like this. However, bear in mind that assignment 4 depends on 3 a lot. 4 is a continuation of 3, because in 3 you're going to develop the models, and in 4 you're going to build the visualizations for models that you develop in 3. Okay? So assignment 4 is a continuation of assignment 3. But before you start working on 4, we're going to have another class, and I'll show you how to do the displays and stories, right? So last assignment is going to be a lot of fun, but not at the expense of working hard, okay? So you're going to like it. You're going to like this part of the course, all right? But yes, if the assignment has a condition, release condition, you'll be told. This time it's intentional because we don't want anybody jumping on assignment and spending hours searching for the data, spending hours searching where to log in, right? So this saves you time. This small assignment like this actually saves you time. So just this is to help you only, right? Any more questions? I love questions, and I like when people participate. So, questions. All right. So, anybody, any instructors, anybody wants to add something? Oh, I see now. Assignments allowed. Oh yes, Professor Marita, is that correct? Thank you, Professor Marita. Yes, the assignments I said by the day. That's right. All assignments, usually the course assignments are set based on the date, but only assignment 2, it has a little extra condition. It's because we don't want you to be puzzled. Yeah. Oh, the spiral model does not work for what kind of data? Well, once in a while, it might not work for certain target variables. Yeah, well, there was a data that I tried to check. There is a data on mortgage data, where it's loan amount, something like that, the mortgage data. I could not get the drivers to work. Well, that's because there is an internal implementation, and sometimes the same method may work for one data and may not work for the other. In that specific data set, it has all continuous variables. So yeah, sometimes it does not work. Do variable properties have definitions? Well, to find the definitions, I specified you the source. If you look at in the course content, there is, if you look at well, probably it's still locked, but when it comes to it, week 6 course content has a little table, and in that table, for each data set, I specified the source where the dataset descriptions are. So yes, you're gonna get the links to the dataset descriptions. You're gonna get this. You're gonna get, and it will explain what each variable means. Yes, so that information is in the classroom. Let's say it this way, okay? Yes. Yeah. So. And yes, thank you, Professor Moreta, for answering that question. Yes, it goes by date, but this specific assignment, it's 2. It's a date and this. Okay. What can I search through the navigation? What do you mean search through navigation? Could you explain it to me? Search through navigation. Could you elaborate? I'm trying to follow the questions. Search through. Oh, you mean search for variables? What do you mean? Well, here you can search for the content, like Caesar, this is my content. If I have a lot of files, I can search here. When I search through Navigation looking for a variable. Oh, yes, yes. Well, you would have to go through the exploration. Remember this? Remember this? We had this exploration, claims and weather exploration workbook, right? I'll go here, and this is an assistant. See this? Well, if you remember the history of commands, right? We typed the, well, let's see. See here, I'm gonna say show insurance. Let's see what happens. Oh, he did not find the match, right? But let's see. Let me try to see this. When I run this, when I click on this, right, it's running this show column marital status, right? So I could do this. In theory, I could do this show, right? I can type show column. I can type show column marital status. What this will do is it will search all data sets that have the column called marital status, right? Here, and it's gonna provide me the list. See this? So now it says that this data set is a best match. See, this is a best match here. It will show me, but then here it's showing me additional locations where this field exists. Well, this one is in the team content folder, customer analysis, and see, this is another one, the CSV version. So here, when I put, well, you have to put the command show column, and then the column name. It will search through all data sets that you have access to, right? All the data sets that you have access to, it will attempt to find that column in there, right? And then you click here and look at the properties, right? So like when I click here, for instance, see this? Behind the scene, it's running this command, yeah, right? So here are other data sets that have this column. So basically it's this. See this? You have to type show column and then put the column name. That's what you do, okay? And here, this little circle, this is your initials. So for this account, I called myself demo. This is a non-admin account that I use for the demonstration purpose, okay? So I hope I answered the question. Is a team going to have folders? Oh, is the team content going to have folders, files that are not relevant for the assignment? Well, let me explain this. Okay, so this is a team. This is the team content. These folders here, this one, calendar, get started, samples and templates. This was pre-installed. This was installed with Cognos installation. If that helps, I could remove access, but I just did not. So, well, here, well, this folder is the folder that I uploaded with all the data. You have it. And also, you have access to samples. Samples are used for the videos. When you watch the videos, they use data sets in the samples, okay? Do not worry about the getting started folder. Well, what I could do is I could remove the access to it if I wanted to, but I did not want to, you know. Well, let me know if you would like to lose access to this, but for right now, let's just keep it as is. Well, this folder, calendar, get started, samples, and templates, this was pre-installed. What I could do is I could control the access. I could control your access to this, okay? And this folder is what I added. So this is, it has the data sets for the assignments. This one is a sample, so you use just these two, okay? Ignore the other three. But yes, that's an excellent question. I like it. So, okay, so if it's show query and the result in the assignment, what is this? Oh, show. Well, basically, when I type show, it will output anything that I have access to. Yes, it will show the folder, yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yeah, but Okay, I would recommend the student only focus on data extend assignments. Yes. Yes, yes. So this folder here, this is a data set for the assignments. But for the samples, the thing is the videos, the links to the videos that are posted in the classroom, right? The presenters use data in the samples. So, but if you are the person who likes to watch and follow along, I want you to have access to this. That's the reason why I'm keeping it. But take a look at this. When you go to this exploration here, right? Well, this is assistant. You just type the dataset name, that's it. But yes, here it shows you where the dataset is located. It shows you where the dataset is located. But you know which datasets you have, right? You just type show and the dataset name, that's it. You know. Well, it's only gonna be the data in a team folder, right? And the data in your folder. The same file will show up only in two places. You cannot access your classmates. Okay? Yeah. You focus on the data with data extend assignments for the assignments. That's right. That's right. Well, samples are useful when we do the stories. You can just look. What is the concept of the target? Excellent question. Target is a variable of interest. Well, in this example, I want to look at total claim amount, right? That's something that I want to predict. I want to predict the total claim amount, right? By looking at this. So other factors are predictors, right? In your homework assignment, for instance, a housing data is going to be the house value. So given other factors, what could be my house value? Target variable is also called the dependent variable. It's something that I'm building the model for. It's something that I'm aiming to predict. For example, I want to predict what my total claim is going to be like based on my location, based on my income, based on etc. Right? So, but Cognos kind of gives you a hint. Okay. Oh, I just copied the entire data extend folder to my content. Okay. Will there be more to upload later? Well, no, it will not synchronize. Okay, guys, this is an excellent question. Let me show you the question here. So this is what your schoolmate did here. And I'm going to check. I need to check to make sure that I uploaded all assignment 5 files. But, well, guys, look, this is an excellent question. So what your schoolmate did in here is did this. Well, they looked at this, they took this, right? Your schoolmate did copy and move and copied the content of the entire folder. So she did this. She took copy and move and copied the whole folder to her personal content. Okay, that's what she did. The question is, so here, this is a team content. There is a folder here. And your schoolmate also has the same folder into my content. Whenever I change something, right? When I add a new file here in the team content, the change is not going to apply to the copy of the folder in my content. So whenever you grab something from here, make a copy to yourself, right? It's not synchronized with whatever is in the team folder, it's not, okay? This is a copy. So you're taking a copy, right? But whenever, if I go in and if I add a new file here, right? If I add a new file, you're not gonna have it. You would have to copy, make another copy of the contents. This is an excellent question. I have not thought about it. I'll be honest with you, I never thought about this question. So when you copy it, right? Well, it's like anything. It's like if you copy a file from my PC to your flash drive, then you take the flash drive out. If I make changes to my file, that's it. You're not gonna have those changes unless I go in and recopy, right? Same thing here. Well, I like the question. This is an excellent question. Okay. Well, right now let's focus on this assignment and then assignment 2. Okay. I'm gonna have to revisit all the folders to make sure that I uploaded all files. I will have to, because initially my focus was to make sure that the permissions are correct. I believe it's all, but we'll see. I initially wanted to make sure that you can access what you should access and you cannot access what you should not access. Okay? Okay, so should we take a note of timestamp? Oh, which timestamp? Could you clarify? What timestamp? Could you clarify? I'm trying to understand. What notification? Oh, the timestamp of your folder. Oh, oh, I see. Well, yeah, you have to take, you asked to take a, that's a good question. You asked to take this guy here, take a screenshot of this. Yeah, it will show the time. Good question. Yes, make sure it shows the time when you copied the file. That's an excellent question. Yes. Well, you go to my content, right? And that's a file that you copied. You want to see the time, yes. Like in a sample, right? Well, if you look at the assignment, there is a sample screenshot. Yeah, you have to show that you copied this file and it's in your content area, right? Well, it's a step by step. Okay. Well, I hope I answered the question. I'm doing my best. What is, oh, well, that's another excellent question. These arrows are used for the sorting. So if I have a lot of stuff in here, I can sort it in alphabetical order, or I can also sort it by the date and time when I modified it, or by the type. The type means if it's a data set, or if it's an exploration, or if it's a display, right? Or if it's a story. Well, we're gonna get to stories and displays later, but well, I can sort it by the file name. I can sort it by the file type and the date and time when it was modified, ascending, descending. And I can also filter it. It's like for right now, I have just what, 3 files here, no problem. But as I start working on it, I'm gonna have a lot, right? So I have to have a way to organize this, right? So yeah, I see excellent questions and I want to see questions. Yes, I love it. So, and even for the next class, I want you to do a little bit of homework, prepare questions. You know, I don't mind, just, I love questions and I love students who ask questions, you know me, right? But I want the faculty, if they are here, I want you to add things. Professor Moretta, do you have anything to add? Go ahead and mute yourself and speak, or if you cannot. No? Okay. Okay, can you show the list of drivers? Oh, what's that? Oh, the list of drivers? Huh? No, I see a question. Oh, wait a minute. Guys, if you're not speaking, please mute yourself. Okay, the question is, can you show a list of drivers again in a spiral diagram? Okay. Okay, the question is to show the list of drivers again. Okay, let me go back to claims and weather. This is a list of drivers. Okay, this is a list of drivers. The visualization, okay. No, you cannot export this to the, you cannot export this to the Excel. You cannot export this to Excel. But what you could do, this card here, this is a driver analysis. This is what you will have to do. You have to take the screenshots of this for the homework assignment. Well, see this is like this is a driver analysis, right? This is a card. What you have to do is this, you have to take a screenshot, or well, you can do like copy. Well, see this, there is a tool. I like this tool a lot. Well, don't pay attention to what I took the screenshot of, but this is a snipping tool. I'm not sure what the equivalent tool in Windows is, but well, that's a nice tool to take screenshot, right? So this is one way you can do it. And this is what you add in your assignment, right? Well, that's one way, but I'm unaware with export functionalities. This one won't. Nope, it's not gonna do it. But well, no, you cannot. You cannot export this to Excel. You have to take those screenshots. Okay, so let me take a look again. So yes, you cannot export You cannot export this to CSV. Unfortunately, we cannot. Yes. So did anybody try to ask something before? No? Well, I want to see questions. And while we're waiting for more questions, Steve, is there anything you would like to add?
No, I think it's a very thorough start. And I think the key is always, same thing I always tell people, you've got to spend time with it. You got to try things. You got to practice. You got to try some things before you start on the assignment, because the key again is not the complexity of the software. It's how much time you spend practicing and learning. It will become much clearer to you as you use it, but that is the key. We know that from past experience. So spend some time. Remember, you're allocating 15 to 20 hours per week. So spend some time learning about this stuff, trying things, seeing if you understand everything. And if you don't, ask questions to either your faculty or the TAs in your class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And prepare questions for the next session too. Yeah, if there is a visualization, yeah, you want to see, because I'll have to create visualizations in order to build the storybook, right? Yeah. I guess. Is there any other faculty attending? Oh, somebody typed something in the chat. Let me see. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, Professor Wahi, thank you for attending. Do you want to add something too? Instructors, feel free to add something. Shy? Oh, well, don't be shy. There is no such a word with me. Word shy does not exist. Oh, okay, no problem. I see. Well, all right. Anything else?
Okay, I think I'll go ahead and stop the recording. Thank you so much, Elena.
Sure.
And of course, as always,